Warding is a skill that's hard to learn and apply for a lot of newer players. It's hard to be watching the minimap while CSing or trading in order to benefit from the knowledge they provide. However, in this video, I'm going to give you some insight into warding pre-lane, in-lane, and late game, as well as control ward usage and long-range wards. While this won't be much help if you don't look at your minimap, I hope that this will make it easier to start reading the map more and making informed decisions from it. First, let's look at warding before minions spawn. This is usually done to stop invades or to help track the enemy jungler. Wards to prevent invades are usually placed in the river or on bot side, as those cover the most common invade spots. Wards that track the enemy jungler are usually placed in between jungle camps to reveal the jungler as they cross a common path. For example, placing a ward here will let me know what the jungler's pathing is going to be. If they show with 8 CS and skip raptors, then I know they're probably going to 3 camp and gank top. However, if they have 12 CS or don't show that at all, then they're probably going to full clear. While in lane, these are the most common ward spots. Shoving in a wave will let you drop these wards more easily, especially if the wards are in the enemy jungle. Additionally, river wards are easy to drop, but they don't give as much warning, which can be dangerous against champions like Hecarim or Nunu who can gank your lane at Mach 5. Lastly, wards in the lane brushes are to stop engage supports from diving your ADC. These are less important against enchanter supports like Lulu, but become very important against supports like Alistar, Lyanna, or Sett. Lastly, let's talk about warding in the late game. These are the most common warding spots for the late game. They give solid control over most of the zones in the jungle and river. Having good vision is vital to starting teamfights or looking for picks. However, if a game is one-sided, then the warding might look closer to this, where the wards are only close to one base, depending on who's ahead. Stepping back into the laning phase for a moment, let's talk about control wards. These are the common control ward spots if you're playing from behind. These wards are helpful if your jungler is getting invaded or if you're worried about getting dove, and they're fairly easy to defend. However, they're not as likely to spot someone out compared to these aggressive spots. Using an aggressive spot makes it easier to create plays, as they're more likely to spot out a jungler or let you get the jump on someone, but they're a lot harder to defend. Generally, using an aggressive control ward spot is more effective if you're the one who's pushing into the tower, but use your best judgment when placing your control ward down. These are the control ward spots for objectives. These should be placed at least 30 seconds before an objective spawns. You should always try and have one control ward in the pit, and one control ward in each of the enemy jungle entrances. One thing to note is that if they manage to get regular wards into the pit, it's vital not to attack them if they're being denied by a control ward, as hitting them will grant full vision of the pit for 4 seconds, even if it gets destroyed. These are some common blue ward spots. Usually blue wards are used proactively to scout objectives or an brush that you're about to walk into. However, if you're not planning on using it in the near future, for example if you're being escorted by a support and there's no objectives, then these positions seem like fine options to place your blue ward. Last, let's go over some long range wards. The first one is going to be for the river bush in top lane. First, stand on this little fern or aloe plant, and then look for the crack in the wall. Place your mouse right below the start of it and use your trinket. Next, bot lane river bush. Look at this tree and stand right next to it. Place your cursor to the left of the rock in the waterfall and use your trinket. Next is bot lane tri-bush. Find the plant on the wall with 3 points and right click on it. Next, look at the wall beside the tri-bush and look for the triangular rock. Right above it, there'll be 2 green pebbles. Place your cursor in between it and use your trinket. Next, tri-bush beside Baron. Walk under the buckler and place your cursor on the top of the little shrubbery here. Use your trinket and the ward should be in the bush. Try it in practice tool first, as the positioning can be a little finicky. Next, try bush below dragon. First, go to the left side of this little waterfall and place your cursor on top of this snail's head. Place your trinket and the ward should go in. Again, the positioning is a little finicky, so try it out in practice tool first. Next is the brush behind blue side's blue buff. First, stand beside this rock, and then place your cursor on top of this baby deer's head. Then, use your trinket. Last is the bush behind blue buff on red side. Stand close to the tower here, beside the crack, and then place your ward in between the trees. Use your trinket, and the ward will go into the bush. In the end, using wards is just a matter of practice. Once you're used to placing wards, it'll be second nature to you. Remember that wards don't only help yourself, but your entire team. And if you're feeling discouraged, don't worry. This is a difficult skill to learn. Just do your best, and as always, thank you for watching.